think humanity's greatest illusion is that we've somehow become separate from nature, not just physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Our separation from nature has gradually become something else. It's become arrogance. Technology is a wonderful servant. It's a terrible master. But every breath still comes from the biosphere. Every meal still comes from the earth. Every drop of water still comes through natural cycles. Every atom in your body was borrowed from this planet. We're not visitors here. We are participants. We're nature becoming conscious of itself. Good evening, and welcome to Evening Communions with Dr. Kenn. This is an Essene Life mantra. Peace be with you. I'd like to start tonight with a simple question. When was the last time you stood outside, really outside, with no phone, no destination, no agenda? Just you and the wind, the sun, the birds, the smell of the earth after it rains. For many of us, it's probably been longer than we'd like to admit. And I think that says something. I've often talked about personal evolution as the highest purpose of our lives. I've talked about peace being another word for health, and about how nature has always been our greatest teacher. Tonight, I'd like to explore something that sits underneath all of those ideas. I think humanity's greatest illusion is that we've somehow become separate from nature, not just physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. We've convinced ourselves that we're different, that we're above it, that somehow we've graduated from the very world that created us. But have we? Think about the average day. We wake up inside a box. We get into another box with wheels. We drive to a larger box where we spend most of the day. The air is conditioned. The lighting is artificial. The sounds are mechanical. Then we return to another box and repeat it all tomorrow. Somewhere along the way, we've stopped living with nature and started living around it. We've become experts at insulating ourselves from the very thing that gives us life. And here's the strange part. We've become so accustomed to it that it doesn't even seem unusual anymore. We wear shoes so we never touch the ground. We package our food until it no longer resembles where it came from. We preserve it, freeze it, ship it, process it, flavor it, color it, and then wonder why our bodies struggle to recognize it as food. We spend thousands of dollars creating perfectly climate-controlled homes, then spend hundreds more joining gyms where we can walk on machines while looking at televisions instead of simply walking outside. It's almost humorous when we stop and think about it. Almost. Because there are consequences, not just for the planet, for us. Our bodies evolved beneath the sun. Our lungs evolved breathing, moving air. Our eyes evolved watching horizons instead of screens. Our nervous systems evolved surrounded by birdsong, flowing water, and rustling leaves, not constant notifications. When we disconnect ourselves from nature, we don't simply change our environment, we change ourselves. I've said many times that peace is another word for health. Healthy body, healthy emotions, healthy mind. Nature nourishes all three. And yet we've somehow accepted the idea that spending nearly all of our lives disconnected from it is perfectly normal. I don't believe it is. I think it's one of the great blind spots of modern civilization. But I think it goes even deeper than that. Our separation from nature has gradually become something else. It's become arrogance. Now, that's not a word we usually like applying to ourselves. We reserve it for other people. But let's be honest. As a species, we've developed an astonishing confidence in our ability to improve upon nature. We believe technology can compensate for poor health. Medicine can compensate for poor habits. Air conditioning can compensate for never experiencing the seasons. Supplements can compensate for poor nutrition. Entertainment can compensate for purpose. Consumption can compensate for fulfillment. We're constantly trying to replace what nature has been offering us all along. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm grateful for modern medicine. I'm grateful for technology. I'm grateful for all the extraordinary advances humanity has made. Technology is a wonderful servant. It's a terrible master. Nature was never meant to be replaced, only better understood. The farther we drift from natural processes, the more complicated life seems to become. And maybe that's because complexity often follows separation. Here's something I've been thinking about recently. Every living thing knows its place in the natural order. The oak tree doesn't wake up trying to become something else. The river doesn't question whether it should flow. The hawk doesn't envy the deer. Everything simply participates, except us. We've become convinced that we're somehow outside the system, separate from it, independent of it. But every breath still comes from the biosphere. Every meal still comes from the earth. Every drop of water still comes through natural cycles. Every atom in your body was borrowed from this planet. We're not visitors here. We are participants. We're nature becoming conscious of itself. That's a very different way of seeing the world. And if it's true, then maybe our purpose isn't to conquer nature. Maybe it's to remember that we were never separate from it in the first place. I believe that's where personal evolution really begins. Not by escaping the natural world, but by returning to it. Not necessarily by moving into the wilderness, but by changing the relationship we have with the world that sustains us. Because here's the beautiful part. Nature never stopped inviting us back. The sunrise is still there. The breeze is still there. The trees haven't given up on us. The rivers still flow. The earth still feeds us. The invitation has never changed, only our willingness to accept it. Next time, I'd like to take this idea one step further. If nothing in nature is ever truly wasted, if everything is continually transformed, then perhaps we're not as separate from that great cycle as we've imagined. Perhaps we're participating in something much larger. Until then, I'd like to encourage you to spend a little time outside, not to exercise, not to accomplish something, just to remember. Because sometimes the oldest truths aren't found in books, they're found beneath our feet. And here's your Dr. Kenn challenge. Until the next time we meet, spend 30 uninterrupted minutes outdoors each day. Leave your phone behind, don't listen to music, don't make it another task on your calendar. Simply observe. Feel the breeze. Watch the clouds. Listen to the birds. Touch the ground. And ask yourself one question. Do I experience myself as separate from nature or as part of it? Don't rush to answer. Let nature answer for you. Thank you for joining me this evening for Evening Communions with Dr. Kenn. Every Friday at 8:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. Please drop me a note in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And in the meantime, try to be intentional in thought, compassionate in word, mindful in deed, simple, innocent, sincere. Peace be with you.